All right. This is going to be my first video that I'm going to actually put on my YouTube channel. I'm actually in the process of starting a channel, and it's just going to cover a variety of different subjects matters that I like to talk about, be it politics, social issues, spirituality, just different yoga, different things that I've really been incorporating into my life that have really given me a whole new outlook on my life and what it means to be who I am. So it's interesting that I've been thinking about this for such a long time. I've been working with a really close friend of mine, and he's kind of been helping bring out the fire that's within me for this. And as I said, I listen to a lot of different content creators, and I've been studying a lot of them. One of my biggest influences, Eric July. He's been a huge influence for me, and I just to watch his channel evolve and grow. Same with Russell Brand. The two of them have really shown me what it takes and the steps and how long it takes to be able to create a channel that people want to keep watching and information that is enticing to listen to. So that's more of the angle that I want to follow, but I want to kind of talk about what's going on in my life, and it might be a little bit different from some of theirs, but I also take influence from them too. So I'm really excited to just be able to see how this is all going to work. It's a new challenge that I'm really freaking excited to try and get into. And for me, right now I live in Grafton, Massachusetts. I was living in Manchester, New Hampshire for a little while, and I love New Hampshire. Still my heart is in New Hampshire, definitely. So it's a great state. I love the people that I met up there. I made a lot of good connections, and it's actually where I met my buddy Nick. Well, I didn't meet him, but I met him through social media. But he lives in New Hampshire, so a lot of good things happened for me in New Hampshire. A lot of good change, a lot of different evolution into understanding more of who I am and what makes up my psychology. Because I think that's more of the angle of the channel that I wanna go on is who I am and how I came to these discoveries of who I really am. All the different changes throughout the sequences of my life and all the experiences that I've had in my life that have led me up to this point right now. And I'm very excited to just be able to share more of my authentic self. I think that was one thing I always struggled with growing up. I always lied to try to fit in, different stuff like that. Made up a lot of shit that wasn't real just to fit in with people. So there was always that yearn to want to be understood and to connect with people. I think I had been doing it in such a way that wasn't really connecting me with people, and nor was it connecting me with myself. So I had to really go through the process of unpacking this kind of stuff to really understand why it was I did certain things in my childhood. Like I said, why did I make up lies? Why did I do all these things? So that's some of the stuff that I want to bring to this content, to this, my newer channel. Just showing people the change that I've been able to go through and the steps that I've taken to make this change. I think it's something that can serve. It'll help me, but also help other people too. Hopefully, it'll help other people. And like I said, I live in Grafton. Live with my sister. I had been living with myself initially at first in Manchester, which was great. It was great, but it's great living here too. I enjoy living with my sister. We were able to coexist, and we're extremely different, but yet we coexist with each other and we love each other. So I think that's something that I was very happy when we ended up making this move and we got a house together here in Grafton, and it's in a great little neighborhood. It's in a great little community. I feel so at home here, which is great. I've really gotten really acclimated to my surroundings and what it is that I'm doing. And right now I work at a restaurant. I work at 3. I love it there. I love everybody that works there. I really can't explain how much I love the people that I work with. That's the thing I'm so blessed with. But I love people that I work with, but I actually love what I do too, which is great. Just a support staff there for right now, and I'm able to move around, and I'm able to do different things. I can stock the bar. I can run food. I can be myself, which is great. I've had a various amount of different jobs, worked for big corporations, Amazon, Jimmy John's, like all these corporations, and never felt like I could really be myself. And I think that's where I had struggled more or less in my life was finding some of these jobs, even some restaurants. I just hit it. I got lucky. My friend Naomi got me the job there, and extremely grateful that she ended up doing that and going out of her way to do that for me. When I was in a position where I was, like I said, I was at Jimmy John's, and I didn't know what was gonna come next. I felt like I was stuck at this job where I couldn't be myself and with people that I might not necessarily vibe with, and that was okay. It was a part of the experience to me getting to where I'm at now, and now I have a job that I can take pride in. We serve good food. We work together as a team, and it's working for me. So I see such a strong benefit as to why I fit into that industry so well. And I've had a lot of experience in that industry. Actually, I've worked in other restaurants. I went to a school, a Voc school that was for hotel and restaurant management. So I have a good experience in that arena. So it's very fitting because, again, I feel like I can just I love to communicate with people. I love to talk to people. I'm such an extrovert, and I have a lot of energy that can be used to communicate with people. And I think that's a very powerful asset for me is to be a great communicator. Right now I'm in school actually for communications. So, and it's interesting because my parents actually were the ones who helped me with that degree, because I'm like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, well, maybe hospitality, maybe that. But it was like, then I already have experience in it. I already have worked at restaurants. I went to a Voc school for it where I learned a lot. And I'm actually grateful that I went through that school. Actually, I think there should be more, I think to talk about the center of it, centering around education, I think that's a good angle to take, and I want to get more into that later on as I go deep into my channel. But I'm grateful that I went there. It taught me a lot about that industry, and Miss Metcalf was great. She taught me a whole lot about the industry, and I haven't worked in hotels. Actually, I worked at an inn that was what's the word? It was in conjunction with a restaurant, so it was cool. Like I could run food to the rooms and stuff, room service, and that's about the most experience that I've had with working in a hotel. But for the majority of my life, it's been basically restaurants, and that customer service sort of field, and it works out really great for me. And I think for me, what I have been expanding on and learning more of is, like I said, the communication element. And I think it's great because I think my parents have that. They have that understanding that they see that, wow, like he's a good communicator. So I was talking with Nick earlier about it, and that's when it really turned on. I'm like, oh, this is why I'm doing communications. And it's a degree that I'm really, really doing well in, and I'm learning a lot in it. So it's like I feel like it's been worth taking out that college loan to be able to learn some of that and learn how communication through digital technology works. And I think that's a strong suit that now I'm trying to hone into a little bit more so that I can be able to have a channel and be able to start communicating more with people and being able to share who I am authentically. I think that there's a huge part in that too, because if I was just going to sit up here and just try to mold into whatever is being talked about, then just to get views and likes and whatever, because it'll make me more money, whatever the case may be. For me, that's just not the position that I'm in or the angle that I want to take. I want to be as authentic as I am, because I will attract those who see me for who I am versus just being somebody I'm not. So I think that's something that I'm going to gradually continue to keep understanding more about myself and be able to share it with the world and whoever wants to listen, whoever wants to have discussions, whoever wants to just come together and talk about various different ideas and how we can, as people, really see each other for who we are. I think that's something that, like I said, I struggled with that for a long time. I mean, I couldn't see people for who they are because I couldn't really see myself for who I was. So I really had struggled with that for such a long time growing up as a kid. And now I'm really starting to evolve into this beautiful person that has been in there. It's just, I was blocked off from that for such a long time. So it's like, now that I've awakened to my higher self, I feel like I can now continue to keep sharing more and be more raw and authentic versus just, like I said, just being somebody I'm not. And I think I did that for such a long time. And I think that's why I'm just the way I am now, because it's just, now that I've awakened again to my true self, I'm more on the path of wanting to share that with people, and that vibration will attract the tribe that is now coming into my life, which I'm seeing that, seeing it tenfold. The more I go into my life, and the more I go into myself, and the more I look at who I am, I'm able to really see these things. And for such a long time, I never really understood that. I think for a long time I was just confused, realistically. Just confused, man. I didn't really know what it was I wanted with my life, what to do with my life, no direction, substance abuse, using too many substances. Pornography is a big thing that I struggle with, and I've now broken away from that, and I feel really empowered in myself that I'm no longer acting on the urges of my sexual desires. I guess it's freeing to now be able to really just have all the energy centralized to me, and work inward so that I can bring all this outward. I think it's something that I'm extremely grateful for, and grateful that I've been able to really just work with a coach. And my life coach has really kind of brought me to this point. He's helped open me up to this point, and I've had to take what he's said and apply it. And now that I'm applying all this different stuff in my life, I'm really able to just be more comfortable in who I am, and discovering more about myself that, like I said, that I just had no idea of. I mean, I had an idea, but to get there it was difficult. I mean, it wasn't easy to just get to this point. I've had to sacrifice a lot to make it to this point, and I've changed a lot, and through that change, I've lost people and connections that just didn't continue on. But I'm still grateful for those connections, because they allowed me to get to this point. So I'm happy that my life has gone in this trajectory. Rather, it's been such a blessing to see. It's very benevolent that, like, where I was even 2 months ago, the evolution just keeps expanding and growing and evolving, and it's just there's more to live for. I have so much in my life to live for. I'm extremely grateful that I have the life that I have, and I want to be able to share some of my experiences with the people who want to listen. I think that's, and I want to hear other people's experiences too. I do. I want to hear what people have done in their lives to get them to where they're at. I think that gives me like a lot of inspiration too, and I love to hear that. The differences and the differences in what we've all done to try to get a little closer to ourselves, because I think for me that's the goal, is to just get have a more deeper connection with myself. I think that's really what I'm aiming to do here. And then with this channel, I'm hoping to do that. I'm hoping to really like talk about spirituality. I'm hoping to talk about politics in an open and loving and compassionate conversation. I don't want to argue with this anymore. I just don't. Let's just have a conversation. If you don't agree with me, then we agree or disagree. It's like I watched Mr. Brand and Mr. Shapiro talk about. They're so far away from each other. It couldn't be any further, I think. And they do agree on some things. But when I watched that whole video that he did on Luminary with Mr. Shapiro, it's like that's what we should be doing. We should, I've seen Eric July, same thing. He's talked to people who don't agree with him, and it's like you just come with respect to each other. I don't understand why we have to really argue and get sucked into it. I just don't. I think that we should have a conversation. I don't think we should be so blocked off from having compassion towards another human. So in their views. So like that's some of the things that I really want to discover, and use this channel to help discover the differences and discover what we can do to work together to build something better. I think that's a big point that I want to talk about on this channel, because it's like, when we see the way things are going, we have to just ask questions. I think that's important. I think we shouldn't be demonizing people, and I don't think we should be calling people names. I don't think we should be doing any of that. I think that's counterproductive to moving towards a freer society. It's just what I believe, and I think that we can all have our part in this, and we all have ideas, and we all have different things that we want to see happen, and I think that we can make that happen. We even through our differences, we're humans, and then we share this planet together. So I think that that's extremely important. So these are different things that I'm gonna touch base on, and as I grow this, and I'm very inspired to just even make this first video because it's showing me that like wow, like for so long I didn't know I didn't think I could do it. I didn't think and then I didn't think I'd be able to do it. And then the more like I said, I've watched people like Russell Brand and Eric July and and Joe Rogan. Like I've watched all these guys and how they're able to just keep the content going and keep me enticed to listening to it. That's my plan. But they're themselves at the same time, so it's like they can entice me, but it's just who they are. So they're not I'm not reading from anything. This is just me talking to you. It's just like Rogan. He's just talking to you. He's not reading off of a prompter, or Brand's not reading off a prompter. Like I'll bring in content like different news articles, be it from Fox News, CNN. I don't care. I'll read them from all of them, and we can discuss it. You know what I mean? I think that's like Eric does this. They are. This is what I think needs to happen. We need to just kind of sift through this information to decide what is going to move us towards that freer society. However that looks for you, however it looks for me. Like, how are we going to do this? How can we read this information from the mainstream media, and how can we take it and maybe see where it's not fitting, or where it could be fit? Because each side has a different opinion, and I don't think everybody's wrong on some of their. I don't think it's people have their views and they're not all wrong, but I think it's the division. I think we need to try to pull it together, I think. So that's just my opinion on it. I'm not going to really get too much into how I think politically yet, but or how anti-political I am with it. Whatever one it is. I'm not going to really get into that right now. This is just more of my introduction, and my mom and my dad have been in my life too for a while, and they've been in my life all my life, and I'm grateful that I have two parents who've been together, who have really helped me out. I've been in sticky situations. I've cost them money, and I've done things that I've had to heal from, so that I don't keep going back and just cycling through the same old bullshit that I was putting myself through and putting them through. So it's like they've really helped me. They've been there, so it's I'm grateful to have that, and that they're also going to be incorporated in a lot of my story and the life that I've had here in America, is because they come from Kenya. I got that actually from when I was in Kenya. It's actually really beautiful. I'll show you right there. It's a really beautiful piece of artwork that I'm grateful for. I'm gonna start putting up more artwork and really gonna set this whole studio up. I have enough room in here to make it happen. Mount the TV, and hopefully I'm gonna give this table away to one of my coworkers who needs it, so that I can have more space in here. So that I can now get microphones. I want to get two, so I can bring different people on. I have a lot of different people that I can talk to about various different things, and be it through Zoom or be it through like in person. You come here, we'll sit down, have a conversation about things, and that's more of the position that's what I'm trying to go for. What's going on with me, and bring in some of the people in my life that have helped me get to where I'm at, and what they're doing in their lives, because I've got some people who are in my life that are doing some really, really amazing things, and I'm really interested to hear it, because I've shifted a lot. I've had people in my life who I thought maybe were my friend, but they weren't, and maybe they were. I don't know. I have no idea, but didn't really want to understand me, so they moved on, and that's fine. I'm not. If you don't want to understand me, then that's fine. I don't have really any time to really sit here and fucking explain myself. Pardon my language, but I'm not gonna explain myself if you just want to judge me. I don't think that's really any. I don't think it's very counterproductive to, I think, of the message that I'm trying to bring on here. So some relationships that had to, it just didn't work out. So I'm more in the position of bringing on people that, even people who didn't understand me, I would still have to have a conversation with you, figure out why. You know what I mean? What is it that you may have thought I'm interested. I really am. I'm open to hearing other people and hearing what that's all about. So this is just more of, this is the start of it all. I woke up and I had a good session, and I was my coach, and just was like, what, it's time to get on. It's time to do this. I've been thinking about this for the past. Thinking about it for a while. So I'm really interested to really just try to build this thing and see where it goes, and bring up different content that's just so interesting to me and to other people, and it's just going to be a wide variety of different things, and I look forward to now that I'm in school for this communications, I'm really learning how to use this technology. So it's fitting. It's going to really show me how to bring all this information onto this platform. So it's all synchronized to what it is that I've been doing in my life, and it seems that that's how my life has been since I've really embarked on this path of self-actualization, of just things just synchronizing, and I'm just understanding myself deeper, and I'm understanding my emotions and the fire that's in me, and my astrology sign. I'm Scorpio, and what it means to be a Scorpio. So it's different stuff like this that I want to bring to you guys, and bring it to just an audience, just to hear it, and hopefully bring people, and just have discussions with different people, just different working class Americans that are doing their thing, and yoga instructors, and people who are into spirituality, all this, Muay Thai fighters, all this stuff that I have interest in, and it's a big part of my life now is Muay Thai and yoga. I joined a studio and a Muay Thai gym that's it's in conjunction with the yoga studio, so it's like I can hop right over next door and I can cross over, and the balance between martial arts and yoga is really that balance of divine masculine and divine feminine. So it's like I've really been seeing that and how that plays into my life, and how yoga is helping me understand my sexuality, just understanding more about myself, really. The biggest takeaway is that, though, because I struggled with the sexuality piece for such a long time. And now I'm able to really go into myself, really through it, and through the body awareness and through the breath. And I'm extremely excited to just share all this with everyone that wants to listen. So I'm going to just keep uploading videos and spreading the channel, and we're going to just watch this thing grow. So I'm very, very excited to show you who I am, and we're going to continue on with this. So you guys all take care.